Before you go for your next interview as a DevOps engineer, make sure you understand this concept very well, know when to use them, understand the trade-off, also use them to build projects. It's going to help you in your next interview. Number one is load balancer, API gateways, and reverse proxy. These three components have different use cases, and sometimes you might find yourself using all three or using one or even two of them at the same time. Now, let's understand this in a very basic level. Let's say that you, as a DevOps engineer, you are designing you are designing a system for an food order application where users can order food for just like within your locality. I live in Bournemouth, so I'm going to use Bournemouth as an example, right? So I want to build a system, or I want to design an architecture for a food ordering app within Bournemouth. Now, in that case, you agree with me that the user base is not going to be that much, right? It's going to be few users because it's just like the initial phase. So, and let's say that there are three major microservices, like the front end, which users use to interact. The second, then with two backend, which could be the food processing backend and also the checkout service. So those are the three microservices. Now, in this case, you have just three microservices, right? The best thing for you to do, or a suitable architecture, could be that you can have like an API gateways that help to route traffic to this backend service. Now, why would you use an API gateway? API gateway could be suitable in this case because you have a centralized gateway where you can enforce stuff like rate limiting, security, authentication, authorization, etc. So you have just one gateway, and through that gateway, you can have access to all your APIs, right? Instead of enforcing rate limiting, throttling, security, authorization on individual APIs, right? You simply use a gateway API and force this on that. Let's say that your user base has evolved and you're now serving the whole of Dorset. We have Bournemouth, we have Poole, we have Christchurch in Dorset, etc. Now, in that case, what do you do? This is where you can now introduce a load balancer, right? So how is this going to work? So you have like an API gateway that routes traffic to those APIs, right? You have your front end service, you have your payment service that does the payment processing, the order service that does the order, right? And that's some other microservices, because as you are expanding, your microservices could be expanding, right? So your API gateway routes the request based on route. Let's say that /order goes to the order API or the order microservice. So what you can do is that API gateway handles all the authentication, authorization, routing, etc. But then the request goes straight to the load balancer. Now, the load balancer is going to sit in between the API gateway and the backend service. So instead of you sending the request directly to the backend service,